Alright, so we have good news and bad news. For those who don't know, I recently just got back from holidays. In fact, I got back yesterday and I was away for a couple weeks and I really couldn't get anyone to feed them. Halfway between those few weeks though, I did have my mum and my sister coming here and they were here for about a week feeding the fish, but other than that, the fish had a week of no food and another 5 days of no food. So now today I want to give you an update on all of them, and we do have a mix of good news and bad news, so stick around if you're interested. So let's get straight into it. So a few videos ago, I did move a huge batch of wrigglers from my angelfish into a hang-on breeder box, and you can see that breeder box isn't there anymore. I moved them in there and I was about to go away, so that was probably a mistake I shouldn't have done. And since you can't see it there anymore, it's obvious that the angelfish fry didn't make it. They did make it in the first 5 days, which was very surprising. We had over 20 fries still alive, but then when it was a week and a couple days of no food, then that's when they could not cope. So I blame that fully on me, because I should have just left them with the angelfish so the angelfish would care for them while I'm gone. But then I also considered that if I did leave them with the angelfish, which I've done before, they were probably just going to eat the fry anyway because there wasn't any other food source. Either way, they would have died, but I mean, it could have been a lot quicker of a death if they were with the parents. But really, I'm disappointed with the fry. I was really hoping they might just make it, but even if they did, they probably have lots of problems coming along the future, like maybe bent spines and concaved belly because they were not fed properly in their first few weeks. The angelfish are gonna lay another batch of eggs within the next week or so, so I'm looking forward to that because that's their pattern here. And I've actually got some pretty cool things happening in the future too. Now, before we do get into some good news, which is great because I always love good news, we do have still one more thing that I need to mention. So you know the black emperor tetra I have in my 90-liter aquarium, well, that's not doing great at all. So I did a bit of research on it. Basically, at first I thought it had swim bladder disease, but it wasn't really floating and it wasn't really sinking. It was kind of just going on to its side. And then I reached out to tropical fish forums, which is what I use a lot. Well, what they think is that it's got to do with a bacterial infection in the brain. When it's already acting where you can't swim properly, that's basically too late. So unless I do like a full water change every day for a week and clean out the filter, which is way too hard for me with everything that's going on at the moment, it looks like it's not going to make it. I'll see what I can do further into it, but it's looking pretty bad. It's also bloated, and this could be because it could have sucked in air. It only eats really the sinking pellets, so I don't think it would actually be because of air being trapped in its bladder, but that's just what I think. If you guys have any suggestions and tips, leave them in the comments down below. But with that said, let's just get into the good news, because I just came back from holiday, really fun, and I'm back at the tanks and all the fish survived. So all the fish are doing great, of course, besides the emperor tetra and the angelfish fry, but everything else is doing amazing. Now, I don't have any deaths. The angelfish are looking beautiful, and I'm sure they're going to breed pretty soon. We've got really good news. So if you don't know the 20-liter tank that I recently set up or reset up, which is a fry tank, well, It's right behind the camera, and after a week of setting it up, I had what I thought was green filamentous algae growing all over the tank. It looked horrible. First of all, it actually turned out to be fungus, and then I reached out to Blake's Aquatics. He helped me out and he gave me some advice. Of course, I could have done it ages ago, I just didn't really consider it, and I didn't think it'd actually work, but what I did, I listened to him, and it turned out it was fungus, so just some sort of green fungus growing, apparently from the driftwood maybe. So since I've never really bought new driftwood before, I haven't experienced what could happen, so that's probably why I didn't know. All I did was just get the shrimp from in here and move them into the 20-liter, and now let's take a look, turn around the camera, and take a look at what the tank looks like now. Alright, and here is the 20-liter fry tank. It looks amazing. So if we take a look, all of the algae, or the fungus, all of that fungus is just gone. Now, the wisteria did die off quite a bit because all the fungus was blocking the light, smothering the plant. So we don't have much of it left. We do have fragments that are now growing and taking off, but we're going to be getting some more wisteria soon, and we're just going to put a bunch more in. This driftwood is still not sinking, so if you got any tips on how to get it to sink while the plants are on it, please let me know, because I really just want to get all this fishing line out by the time the angelfish fry come in. Just from 5 little cherry shrimp / ghost shrimp, this is what they've done. This is the damage they've done. There is tannins in the water now, but this light really gets straight through the tank and you can see everything very clearly, so it's great actually. And it's also angelfish fry. I love it because since they come from the Amazon, they love softer water. Now what I'm really happy with is the growth of this Java fern. You can see we're actually having success with it, and it was a bit expensive for my liking, so I'm glad it's doing well. And you can see it's just growing all these new leaves and stems and that sort of thing, and it's growing now, taking off. Look at it. It used to be just this leaf, and now we've got 3 more down there. We've got several over here, but yeah, super cool. I'm so happy with it, and it's a really cool tank now in my opinion. So that's it for this tank, and so that's really all for today's video. Pretty short one, and just to show you guys what's happened while I've been away, how they're all looking. I did water changes on all the tanks yesterday, so that's why they are looking pretty topped up and algae free. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content just like this, and for content I've got waiting that's going to be so cool. But have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video.